How to do to you. So I haven't streamed in forever and a day. BGS was talking about, we should do streams, making a suggestion we should do streams to Afro beats, and that would be kind of cool. So I might do that in the future. We'll see. But yeah, I wanted to do something really quick. I'm gonna test sound first, so hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, I wanted to do something perfecto. I gotta semi-watch my dog too, because she's outside. Anyways, so I need addresses, right? There's a lot of ways you can get like mailing addresses. You can buy them. You can buy them from lead services and things like that. But eventually, I want to start a lawn care and home care, a residential lawn care and cleaning service in my area. I'm thinking about like other businesses to try and start up and things like that. I have the land where I can, put a whole, like space up here or something like that. So that'd be kind of cool. When I say space, I mean like, is this? So you had it? No? Okay, whatever. I can put a what do they call those things again, man? Like a steel metal building up to where I can actually store. Yeah, there we go. A storage unit. So I can store all my equipment and stuff like that. So there's a couple of things I'm doing in the background to try and make more money, and some of those things are coming together, which is great. Just got to get through some, the usual back and forth and stuff. So, but I need addresses for, it's like, what am I going to do with disposable income once, like, a lot of bills and debts are paid off? Like, what are you going to do with that extra money? And, of course, you just go to looking at cars. I'm looking at 2021 Mercedes-Benz S-Class. But then it's like, we know what happens with that. It's just, you're throwing your money into a pit. We need to put our money into things that make money. I definitely want to invest in this market. But at the same time, I do want to enjoy one or two things, but I definitely want to invest in this market. But more than that, I want to invest in something that's going to bring me in some income, because you can only work so many jobs. You only have so many hours in the day. If you're working from home, yeah, you can do stuff. You can have, 5-10 contracts where you're doing some work from home stuff. But after a while, you can't fulfill all those contracts. So there's this thing, right? If you wanted to get like addresses from a county record or something like that. So your county or whatever county it is should always have like, records of your, your home records, right? And then they'll have like a list of addresses. Now, legally, I'm not supposed to do what I'm doing. Down 007, man, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, just been doing other stuff, that's for damn sure. Been making like little small videos and stuff, but not actually streaming. So I appreciate showing the love, brother. But yeah, so if you want a list of addresses, you can go to your county website. But how do we as programmers, coders, whatever you want to call us, get that information? Now, this is not an exhaustive list. It depends on the actual county itself. But we can look at, for instance, my county. So I'm just going to do some stuff off screen here. I'm just going to hide that a little bit. Just going to hide that. This website called QPublic. I think it's like qpublic.net or something like that. And it is a database. It's like Beacon QPublic. So QPublic Beacon. And for the state of Georgia, you can look up home addresses, or you can look up, county information, tax assessor information in there. If you're in like, say, Florida, you have Broward County, you have the Broward County Tax Appraiser's Office and stuff like that. So that's available. I'm like semi looking at my dog here, so excuse me if I like you hear like the sound moving in a weird way. So one thing is, what they'll usually do is you'll have to agree to a terms of service where you can't do what I'm about to do and so on and so forth. But I mean, it doesn't stop you from, actually doing it. And this is how a lot of people get, like, you wonder how they get your address. Your information gets sold, queried, scraped, all types of shit from these public repositories. The only thing is, finding ways for it to, finding ways to do it in a programmatic fashion with things like pagination, right? So for instance, I get this one page of results, then I get another page of results, and another page of results, so on and so forth. So let's do this. I'm going to open an inspect window. So with the inspect window, I can do quite a few things. And I've already game planned this, so this will be a pretty quick stream. I've already put this together. But in this case, what I'm going to do is just do a blank search, right? Just enter nothing into the search bar. Some county appraisers, some county offices or websites will allow you to put in or not put in anything and just do a blank search. And then with a blank search, it'll give you the maximum records that they can allow you to get. And then that might be randomized or alphabetical, right? Or sorted numerically. And then you just go from there. So in this case, I'm just doing a blanket search. With this website, what it'll actually do is it'll give me the information, and it'll give me the information. It'll give me 750 records or something like that. So let's do this. In this case, I'm going to be searching in my county and search by location address. And I'm sorry, I don't want to show everything. For those that know, you can easily go to what I'm doing right now. You can go to your own county as well. I might even do it for something like Broward County, where I used to live. But we'll just game plan this real quick, or we'll just go through what I just I searched up, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do next with it. And I've done stuff like this for these websites like Booksy.com, and they'll hide those stuff. They will hide their stuff using JavaScript, but really it's all HTML pages, and you can easily scrape those for every bit of information from there. And you can use JavaScript as well, and we're going to do everything in the inspect console. So if you're on a web page, you could right click and then choose inspect, and then essentially it'll give you the HTML as it's rendered or that you see. Now, what you do have to also understand is in some cases, some websites do a very good job of hiding the actual HTML or hiding the DOM or the document itself and doing things to the DOM so that you can't just query information or scrape information. So in this case, I'm going to do search by location address. And this is going to return a whole list of stuff. So what this does, and the reason why you can do stuff like this or do stuff like this in this fashion is because in the inspect window, it's going to show you the DOM as it's rendered, or this is best I know it, so I could be wrong in terms of my terminology, but essentially, as you see the DOM, this is all the code or everything that's in there. What you saw a little bit is a flash of where it actually hydrated the DOM itself or the window with information. At first, it showed nothing. Now it shows me a whole bunch of addresses here, right? And we won't go into the addresses, but I know how to, go through this already. And I really don't want to show people's private information and stuff like that, but you can easily get it. It's not really that hard. So we're just going to assign a variable to something. So var links, because I want all the links from this page, because the way this page works, it shows me a whole bunch of links, and I wish it would show me the property addresses on this page, and then I could just, boom, get them. But it only shows me a portion of the property address, like 19th Street. Well, there's not just 19th Street. It's going to be 2966 19th Street, right? I need to get the actual address. So it gives me a link so that I can view the actual report, and then from there, I can actually get the address. And I can also do things like scrape, or from there, I'll probably do a curl or something like that and scrape for that data. And then you can also do things like, okay, what is the residential type? Because some of these items here that are in this list are industrial or just plots of land or something like that. And with those plots of land, I don't really need, I don't want those. Those aren't customers to me. I'm not going to deliver any mail to them. I need residential addresses. So with the data that I, get from this, I can say, okay, I just want residential addresses and go from there. All right. So real quick, we're going to do links, and then we're going to do a document query selector. And you could do things like this in jQuery too. jQuery had nice syntax with it back in the day when I used to use it. Now with query selector, we're gonna encapsulate this in quotation marks. And in this case, as I said, I've already game planned this, but I can see. So is it this one? Let me see it on my screen here. Here we go. So on this one, I can see. Let's inspect that element there. Right, good. It doesn't show. All right, cool. It doesn't show the address, but so essentially, I just need to get this ID here, right? This href, and this will be the link to the page with that property's address and all the information I need. Now, on that page, it has things like the size of the acreage. So I want to start a lawn care service, right? So for a lawn care service, I care about, the acreage of the property, maybe what type of property it is. Maybe even if I do like a lawn clearing or a land, like not a landscaping, but like one of those land services where you can go in and clear the actual land. I forgot, it's like property demolition, or whatever, or property clearing or something like that. So that would matter. Like I only want properties that are 5 acres or larger, or maybe I'm a small business and I don't have a tractor or something like that to cut things in a short period of time. So I only want to deal with properties that are no larger than 2 acres, right? And then from there, I can say, okay, well, how big is the home? All right, cool. Now that matters for lawn care and for residential cleaning, because if the home is like 2,300 square feet, 1,200 square feet or something like that, 1,200 square feet, maybe I don't care about, and I'm not going to charge them much, and it's not going to be much work there, right? Or if it's like, say, 2,000 square feet, well, that person might have a little bit more money. They might have services. They might want to actually use this type of service that I have, so on and so forth, right? So we got to think about things like that. But when you're a person that's like, getting information and trying to pull all that out, I don't know what I just did. When you're trying to pull all the information, oh, I know what I resized the window so it showed everything in a different format. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Let me expand it here. All right, cool. All right, so now I can when you're like just gathering this data, you want all the data. You don't care, you don't want to do filters yet. You'll do filters later. And especially if you're doing ETL stuff, extract, transform, and load, this is your extraction phase. And then you'll take that data, transform it, so uppercase everything, lowercase whatever you need to, get the addresses formatted the way you want, zip codes formatted the way you want. And then after that, you can do things like load that into a database or into a CSV spreadsheet, what have you, so that you can, use that data and make an actual mailing list. Again, this is how we're like making a mailing list, quote unquote, for free. So we have about 750 records or what's it called? Links that we should be able to go through. So as I said, I've gone through this already. I've already done this. But I did want to make like a stream about this really quick. All right, so let's look at inspect that. So in this case, I want this href here, or this hyperlink. So it is encapsulated with a label. That label has an A record, or sorry, a hyperlink or an A element, if you will. So I can do a query selector for label, and I only want labels that contain an actual hyperlink. Right, and in that hyperlink, yeah, I did say I did this before, but I forgot. So in that hyperlink, I want attribute ahref for that hyperlink. I think that should be it. So I want every element that's a label that has a hyperlink, and then I want the href attribute. And I think I still have to do some other stuff after this. But yeah, that should be pretty much it, right? And then from there, I can filter it using a for loop. When you do a query selector also, just to explain a little bit what's going on here, you can look this up on MDN, so Mozilla Development Network. And, they're the creators of JavaScript and everything like that. And with this query selector, what it'll return is, I believe, a node list. Now, a node list is not an array. It is array-like. So you can iterate through it like it's an array. I kind of miss doing this because, explaining stuff like that's been pretty fun. Or has always been pretty fun. And like, it sharpens me, right? So now I'm saying var links. And when you're actually in the inspect console, again, I'm in the console here, and I'm just doing an inspect on the page itself. And when you're in this console, let's see if I can do that. All right, cool. When you're in this console, you can actually run JavaScript. You can run JavaScript that any like type of code that is any loaded JavaScript on this page or anything like that. You can run other people's code, and you can also make your own code. So I don't even need to like, come up with my own code, or I don't need to come up with my own server or anything else like that. I can do it from my home browser, and then it's a very powerful tool. I believe it is like Control I or something like that. If you're on a page, like if you right click, it's right click inspect, but I think it's like Control I or Control Shift I to get to it. There's also really good videos on YouTube on how to use this as well, especially on free code camp. Yeah, free code camp. Or Free Code Academy. Man, I can't believe I forgot that now. But they have a YouTube page, and I'll find that video here in a little bit. Anyways, moving forward. So now we're referencing our links, and we're doing a document query selector. Now, what this is going to do is query based off of our what we're going to query for, right? So in this case, I'm doing labels. So if it's an actual element. I appreciate that, man. I'll put that in a second. So if this is an actual element, so like if you're querying for a class, it's going to be dot and then the class name. If you're switching for an actual element, it's going to be the element type. So a label, an A tag, or a label tag, whatever else. Even the CSS, you can query for those type of tags, or a text tag or something like that. And then if you want something that is a child of that tag, then you do a greater than sign, which is just pointing right, and then whatever that child tag is, or child class is, or child whatever, so you can kind of go down that rabbit hole. So you can do a class of a class or multiple classes, so it has to match this class and this class. There's a whole bunch of things you can do with query selector. Let me put this up. Red Pill Finance says, thanks for being real. A lot of people claim they getting into tech but never talk or show anything. Man, I appreciate that, bro. Like, it's very important to me. I'm a talker. BGS has revealed that I am true to sign, and I don't appreciate him for revealing us Scorpios as being social beings. BGS, you ain't shit, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, we're social creatures, man, and I like to show. I like to talk, and sometimes it comes off bragging, because sometimes it actually is. But I like to show what I'm doing, what I've done, and I believe that by showing people, it makes me more money. The other day, yesterday was Juneteenth, and I took off that day, and that was like a harder working day than anything. I had to help one of my previous clients, and by helping him, he actually offered me a job, and he says, how much would you want? I said, 150. He said, well, they might balk at that, but I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to say you're worth it. And I said, hey, listen, I'll work with you guys, especially if you're going to teach me something. If you give me $100K, we can call the 50 grand tuition, especially if you're going to teach me more about coding and stuff like that. Tempted. So he put it in, sent him my resume. I helped him out with this problem, fixed it. And, his company's back up and running. And they remember me from the last time I saved their ass when I ran my consulting company. And this was like, bro, the system I put in place was running 3 years strong, baby. Strong. Like that motherfucker took the blue pill and fucking fucked the world, baby. Yeah. That shit was awesome. It was just pretty cool to hear that. Like the guy was like, yeah, this shit's been up for like 1,000-something days. And I was like, God dang, I know how to build systems, baby. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyways, man, like, yeah, any which way I can help out, and with some of the new things that I'm doing. I've talked to you guys about being overemployed. I won't go any further than that. Check out overemployed.com. That's all I got to say. And I'm trying to do that. All right. Appreciate you, though, Red Pill Finance. I need to get back on my finance stuff. I've just been like dicking the dirt on that type of stuff and spending a whole bunch of money on all types of shit. So I need to get back into that. Anyways, all that to press enter. All right. So now I can do console.log, and I can do links, and now I can access that variable, and then I can see the length of the length of that variable, because it should be a node list, which is an array like. So you can run array commands or methods on it, such as like for each dot length, so on and so forth. So I got 750 returns. So now that means, and that can confirm that, because, or I can confirm that's right, because on my other window, because I don't want to show you guys that. Oh. On my other window, it says it'll return a maximum of 750 results. Last time it only did, we can't see anyone's screen. You should be able to see mine. Zeno, you messing with me, dude? You should be able to see mine. Zeno, stop playing with me. Anyways, so hopefully you can see that. For those that can't, please catch the playback. Inside. Bring that ass. I gotta feed you. Sorry, I let my dog in. So now I can iterate through that node list or an array, like it's an array. So I can do links dot for each. I like to do a for each. It's a little bit simpler, but you can do a for of. And for ofs are nice because they act like regular for loops, and you can actually do breaks. So again, if I wanted to go to another line, I don't have to do all this on one line. I can do shift enter. If I press enter, it's going to enter that command. Oh, I see what you mean. All right, cool. See, that's how rusty I am. I appreciate that, man. So I try to take people seriously, but sometimes it's like people's like messing with you, but I have to know like my crowd is not gonna really mess with me like that. Can you guys see that? Text is too small. I even put it in HD. Oh yeah, my stream is gonna be shit. I'll be struggle streaming. All right, Red Pill Finance says it's good. All right. Yeah, I'll be struggle streaming like what's his name says. What's his name? TLA, the lead attorney. Yeah, I'd be definitely struggle streaming. That's one thing I've always wanted to improve, and I just never have. Yeah, it's good now. Okay, Zeno, appreciate you pointing that out, man, and correcting me on that. So I apologize for if there was any offense. I try to be light on it, but I was just like, what the hell is he talking about? I was like, I can see the screen. All right, so from here, I can do console.log every element in there, right? So I can iterate through that array using the for each high order method. Right, so you have like for each, every, map. What else is there, man? There's a couple others, man. There's every, for each, map, and then something else. You can do like a sort if you wanted to, and provide it with a certain sort type function. So, anyways, moving forward, we're gonna enter. So now you can see that it's giving me the entire element, and I don't want the entire element. I want just the this href link, right? Now I don't know if I can do a query selector where it just gives me just the href link itself. So I'm just gonna have to get that out myself, right? So, and that's fine. We can do that. For this right here, if I want to move back and forth, like if I press up on this. Like I have to like move in one character, so move left, and then I can press up and then actually look at this code block or move through this code block. So let's do a shift enter so I can add a new line. I'm going to do let href equal, and then and then there's a function called get attribute. Oh, I looked this up earlier. I was on another computer, so I actually have the computer in front of me. Yeah, dot get attribute. So whatever the element name is, it's dot get attribute. And you can only do that to like an actual like it'll parse an actual I want to keep on saying a record. Salutations, Loadcast, man, brother. Appreciate you showing up. But I want to say a record, but it's just an a element or a tag or a link, a hyperlink. So I can get different attributes out of this, and I have to put those attributes in quotes, so single or double. So I'm gonna do href And I'm just going to get the link out of each one of these, right? And then I'm going to console log href. Boom. So now I got all the links for all these different properties. And then with that, this part is a little bit more manual, but I can get this from other places if I wanted to, like the window, and then get the actual location or something like that if I wanted to. I think if you do like console.log, and I don't even think I have to do console.log, but it's like window.location. Yeah, so href, it'll be this. So origin, right? So location dot origin. Cool. So if I wanted to, I can just do reference this. And this makes it a little bit, instead of like hard coding these things, it makes it a little bit easier to work with. So I'm just gonna do backticks, aka the tick or the quote, the special quote under the or tick marks underneath the tilde sign top left of your keyboard. This allows you to do what they call string interpolation. And with string interpolation, I can combine these strings without, having to go through concatenation, which is like your plus signs and your spacing. And it's a little bit harder to read in some cases. And I don't have to worry about like escaping certain things like characters in between or anything like that. I can just use this. I can have all these variables and just text or numbers or other values or even functions or ternary operators, blah, blah, blah. I can have all of that in here in between these tick marks. All right. And I believe you should be able to do multi-line with the tick marks as well. So if I wanted to do this across multiple lines, it should still work and parse properly. But when you're doing that, and if you want to do functions within it, you're going to have to do this syntax, which is $, and then you encapsulate your variable or your conditional or your function. You can encapsulate that in between two curly braces, open and close, and then it'll run the code in there as if it was a part of the string, and then just plop it right in there or plop the result in there. All right, so with that being said, I can do window.location origin, and then with that origin, we can see here that it doesn't have a forward slash. So we put that forward slash in here. This is why we do string interpolation. And now we have all our links, and then we want to get all like complete links. And what's nice about doing this or doing it this way instead of hard coding it is if the site changes or anything else happens, this makes it a little bit easier to work with and a little bit more dynamic, right? So it can adapt to just about any use case. And we go like that. Boom. Now we got links to all of these property websites. And now I can click on all these property websites. And with that being said, yeah, that's it. I have all these property websites. And now with these property websites, I can do things like, and I don't want to go any further with this. This is why I'm stopping here. But with these property website links, now I can go to each one of these links, probably do a curl or something like that, or do a fetch or something like that, get the page or the HTML itself, and then I can start scraping that page. And then I would do other functions like, set interval, set timeout, or set timeout actually, just so I can wait so that the server where I'm querying all this information doesn't stop me or see me as somebody that is downloading a whole bunch of data. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I just don't want them to stop me. Right. So this is kind of like how script kiddies work. This is how they get your information for different properties or anything else like that. Like all of this information is publicly accessible. We can go even further. So we can do Broward County. And Broward County is a little bit, I think, harder to do. Like you can't just do it for them. Like they have a couple things in place where you can't do that. Broward County Property Appraiser's Office, and we could do a property search, and we could do address, and we could do search. Yeah. So for instance, the Broward County Property Appraiser's Office, I can't go here. Zoom in here. Marty, hey, good job, Marty. Jesus Christ, that freaking smile. I can't go here and just like hit search, right? Like I'm going to have to please enter either house number or street name, right? Like I have to enter that. So that sucks because now I can't look at like everything, right? Like I can't look at a lot of records being returned or anything like that. Like, so that sucks for me. And like, that just, yeah, that's not good. You know, like as a person that's trying to get them as many addresses as they can, yeah, that's not going to work for me. So I'd probably put in like some fake information in here or something like that. Do a search. And then what you do is like when you do a search, for instance, oh man, maps.google.com. So I might I just know where Broward County is. It's just easier instead of like figuring out some address. So Fort Lauderdale, and I'll just pick some random house here. All right. Oop. All right. Actually, let me not show this too much. It's kind of like you guys already saw it, but all right. So now I can put in this person's house number, 411, street direction, northwest, street name, 12th Ave. Where's Ave? Avenue. There we go. And I could do a search. Now, the reason why we do, oh, okay, no records found. All right, a street name field must be exact unless a wildcard is used at the end. So this, like, sometimes they teach you how to like search through their database. Like they want to make it usable, but they also don't want to make it usable to the wrong people, aka me. Yeah, that website does need a facelift. This website does need a facelift. It's been like that, bro, since like for decades at this point. But we can do things like asterisk, so that'd be nice. All right. So I don't, damn it. Okay, that's too much information. So hold on. I'm sorry. I don't want to like put everybody's shit out there. All right, cool. So with this person's address, I mean, I'm looking at the URL here, and by looking at that URL, it's public information. So, but at the same time, I don't want to put this stuff out there. But I'm looking at the URL, and the URL doesn't give me like search parameters or anything like that to where I can actually do a search. It only gives me the actual result. So they're not a place where I can search for this type of stuff. Oh man, you can do owner name, city, search. Maybe I can look for all the people named Smith in a city. Okay, this gives me a little bit more. Oh, wow. That's a lot easier. So, for instance, if I, search on this website and if I want to do it by city or something like that, I mean, some websites are better than, or not better, but better for us than others. But if I wanted to, I can search by, where is it? Search by owner name and then put in something like Smith. And again, wow, you could really use this for bad and not just mailing lists. And you can like find somebody, but that's why, witness protection. You could be a whole stalker out here. I'm telling you, man, like computer guys and people that deal with data, like we make great stalkers. Bro, there's so many times, man, like you could think of me however you wish, but there's so many times where you could just find somebody's information, like a girl's whole social media and stuff like that. I remember, and that helps. That's helped me a couple times too, because chicks will try and like run game on you and screw you over or something. But I remember one chick, she was over in like Brunswick, Georgia, or something like that. She was like, "No, I don't really have social media." And she started sharing pictures and all this other stuff. So she was trying to pretty much, get me out to where she was, so I can like, probably get robbed or something like that. And I started looking her up, and I started seeing all the other stuff that she had out there, and I was like, I thought this chick said she didn't have social media. But anyways, we're computer guys. We know where to search for certain things. You give us a first name, last name, and then a general area. Like you give us at least 3 things. The more data, the better. We can find all types of information about a fucking person. And that's because 1, they put it out there. 2, your actual county or public records will put it out there as well. And you can query a lot of these things, such as like, jail records or what have you. So trust and believe. Don't fuck with no computer guys, especially if they know, how to get information. So I can run search, and I won't do this because it's going to show a whole bunch of people's addresses. But oh my God, there's a lot of stuff. And actually, what we might do, this actually gives me the data the way I want it. But here I can get this information. Then I can write a curl, a little bash script or something like that in Linux, or another JavaScript. And I can go to each one of these websites and then dump all the data that I need, or scrape all the data that I need off that page, and then put it into a CSV file and go from there, and then that's your extract. And then you have your transform to where you transform the data to your liking, and then load it into a CSV file, MongoDB, NoSQL database, SQL database, things like that. All right, cool. So that's that. But let's do this website. Oh shit. All right. So we have all the people that are named Smith. Oh my God. This is like, they made this really easy. Oh man, that's not even funny. This part they made easy. Font color black, table row. So we can do, we could do it by the attribute if we wanted to, we could do a lot of things here, but we just want the addresses, right? And I already know a piece, like, what city this is in because of the city that I put it in. But maybe, we don't have that per se. We can get this person's whole phone number. Also, one thing that's nice is we can get the folio number, right? Now, with the folio number for this website, again, when you start to you're doing any type of kind of web scraping or what have you, when you're doing this type of stuff, you want to see how they allow you to search. So you could see okay, you start looking at URLs, and the URL says, hey, I have a folio number or something like that. So for instance, or I require a folio number. So like we did with the other thing I was doing, or the other page that I was inspecting, everything is preceded. Oh, see, and I didn't even need this. Boom. So everything is preceded by a, this URL, this portion of the URL, or the base of the URL. And then this is the, all the document or the subdocument or the rest of the URL itself. I forgot what the official name is, because you can actually query that piece of the URL versus querying this piece of the URL. You can query the protocol, the actual domain name, and then you can query the, I forgot what they call this. Is like the web page or something like that. But you can query all those things with the window, like window dot whatever. It'll be like window dot location, and then it'll give you the different portions, or like if it's the origin or something like that, or what protocol it's using. Like we saw it earlier. But so I can see all this, and I rewrote that. But if I wanted to, I can do it's a window. Okay, I don't want that. Console.log. Sometimes I just can't explain things, so it's just better if I show it to you. So window. So this tells me everything about this window itself. Let's see here. There's things like protocol. It's like one big object. Hold on. I think it's like protocol. Oh man. Window location. All right, cool. Location. All right, with this location, we have the href, the origin. Okay, here we go. Location, and then we have the protocol, and we have the host. So you have your host. You can get the actual host address, portion of the address, and then whatever the search is. In this case, it shows the search here. You can get all types of stuff through JavaScript and through the console. Anyways, let's finish this sucker out. I was finished a while ago, wasn't I? All right, so in this case, I looked up all the people named Smith. Oh, and with the folio number, for instance, let's just put that here. So I'm looking on the county appraiser's website, and I want to get this person's folio number. I need to get their folio number so I can get that information. And once I get that folio number, I can just keep on placing it in this and then keep on querying those pages and hitting them and scraping for information. That's one way you can do it. And again, this is actually a part of data sciences, because like this is how they get your information so they can make phone calls to you, how they can send you mailers, how they can do X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. All the annoying shit that you don't like, but this is how people, make money off of your data and without, stealing it from Target or some other data breach. Alrighty, so in this case, I need to, let's go back here. All right. So going back to this page, and I need things like folio numbers. So like I could even query this whole DOM and get everything that says recinfo.asp, because that's like pretty much a constant there, and then get this folio number information every time. So I could do stuff like that. With the table row, you probably have to do like multiple queries. All right, cool. So this is one that like we're gonna do a lot. So far, list equals document query selector all, and I want to do all. If I want to do one, I can just, if you do one, it'll return the first one on the page, but it won't do all of them. And I want all of them. So I mean, there might be a faster way of doing this, right? So I want every TD. No, I want every row, right? Every row, every table row that has a TD, and that TD has a font. And then, I mean, I can do all that stuff here. So, but the thing is, if I do this, this is like, I have three of these here. So table row, and then I want everything that has a TD, or yeah, I want every table row that has a TD. Right. So with every row that has or every table row element that has a TD in it, and that TD, and I can, just in case there's like something I'm missing or something like that I don't see. Most of these I can say the v-align attribute equals top, and I can even do it by that. So I think if I do this here, v-align equals, I think I need single quotes. All right, cool. So then I can do console.log and list. All right. Oh, I want to do dot length. So it's only giving me 32 records. Is that what I got here on this page? Yeah, it's about 32 records. It looks like it. So it only gives me, 32. No, so actually it's 27 records found. Okay, cool. I'm just looking at the page here on another screen. All right, and then with that, now I have those 32 records. There's going to be some filtering needed, because obviously it says, hey, listen, that's not right, or what have you. And I'm probably getting things like the top here or something like that. Like, I'm probably getting some other stuff here that I just don't need. Anyways, we will filter through that as we iterate through the list. And the same thing. So I can just do list dot for each E, I. So E stands for element and I stands for index. And I usually use both of those. or I usually use the element, of course, so I can get the actual element that I'm working with within that array, or node list, which is an array like, and then the index of that data, or the index number of that data, so I know where I am in that array. And I can use that, for instance, like comparing the length versus the index to see if I'm at the last point in the index itself or within the array itself. All right, so all right, console.log E, and I do something like this for the E just to see what data is going to come out. All right, so I have table data, top, font, black. And the reason why I'm doing this is because now I have that. Maybe I'll do another query selector, or try and just parse out this information that gives me the href. So I might do another query selector within this for each element. And the reason why I'm doing it like that is because I want like 3 things out of here. So let folio equal, oh shoot. All right, so let document, let's just get one going. Document dot query selector all, and then query selector all. I want now that I can iterate through each one of them, now I can get piece of it, and then I can push all of that out into one console log, or one string, or one row in a CSV file or something like that, So that's how we go through that. So now let me work with this. Sorry for the squeaky noises. That's my dog playing. That's hilarious. So each element, it should be a TD. And so each element, query selector. So I think I can just do TD and then do the sub elements after that. So font, and then a B, and then the B has to have an A, and this is not the folio, actually. Darn it. I need, see the folio, I don't think it has a V-align top. Text editor. Well, in this case, this is like this whole test, or what I'm doing here. So Red Pill Finance asks, why aren't you using a text editor? I can use VS Code or something like that, but I don't know if I can inspect and import it in VS Code and then work with it. I'm working with the actual live website here, right? So if this website makes changes, does a refresh or something like that, or refreshes an element, then I won't see that. Don't walk over to me because you're doing something bad. No, no, no. Get away from me. Sorry. And she comes back. Watch out, man. I don't want to hit you. Watch out. You're doing wild stuff over there. Lucky I don't care about the thing you're chewing on. Anyway, so we would have to go back in our original list to change this. So this is not my folio. Let's get our, oh no, we can get our link. I mean, we can get our link if we wanted to. So link, we'll call it link. We'll call that link. 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 We'll call it link raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. And then we'll call it link. And link raw is going to be, or link is going to be link raw. And you don't have to do all this. I mean, you can pipe this into something else, into something else, into something else. Like, for instance, I can do, actually, yeah, let's just do that because I don't feel like typing all that. So get attribute. Oh, sorry. Let me take that off. But yeah, I'm not using a text editor because I'm using it on the live site, or I'm working with the live site itself. Attribute. And maybe I can do this in a text editor or something like that. I don't know. So there's also that part. I just don't know if I can do outside of a text editor. And then I'm just going to get the attribute of href. And then I'm going to do link. And the thing is with JavaScript, since it's object oriented, like everything is an object. Like the DOM is an object, the query selector that I'm doing is an object. Then I can chain that to another function that'll get this portion, and then that'll be one main object, which is link. So then if I want to go here, get attribute is not a function. All right, so that's why we have to break it up. All right, cool. So link raw. All right, and then link raw, and then I have to just do link raw and then get attribute ahref. All right, cool. And then I'll put link raw, get attribute. Document query selector. All right, cool. So that's not giving me what I wanted or what I want. So there's something wrong, probably in my document query selector. Oh, okay. So it's a whole bunch of A's. A. So it's giving me all of them. There's definitely something in the way I'm doing that. So document query selector, TD font, B. Oh, okay. I'm not doing this just on one thing. I need to be doing this. I see. All right. Yeah, I'm doing this on like everything in that. All right. So, hey man, you got to see the, instead of document, I need to do E. And I think that should fix it. So with that being said, I can go back to this and it should just be E. All right, there we go. And then link, okay, attribute, okay. Query selector all. All right, let's do this here. And when you run into problems like this, like maybe you're chaining it too much, or you have to actually make it its own object or something like that, just break it down. I mean, it may not be what you want to do, but don't like, bump your head all night trying to figure out like, it should work. I've done that so many times, it's not funny. So all right, cool. This is going to give me a node list. That node list has, okay, so node list. With that being said, like what is e.query selector? I mean, there's like quite a few nodes underneath it. So if I can do query selector, why is my quotation marks off? It shouldn't be the quotation marks, but link. Let's just do E. Just like when it does that. So TD font B. So see, I'm doing the TD. Maybe it's like that's not right. So let's just do that. Oh, I didn't address it. Or I didn't use link. It's not working. It's not working. All right, let's see here. Font, e.query selector all. It's a query selector, right? So if anything, I would need to run through that again. And I'm doing E in here, so that's wrong. So let's just do link. Query selector is returning a node, and then from that node, I need to do another for each. And then in this time, I'm doing the for each on the link for each E, and then I'll just put like 1 or something. I1, E1, I1, U1, B1. All right, and 2. Shift Enter, and then console dot. Oh, no. I want link raw link list, and then list, and the names are arbitrary. So let link equal E1 dot get attribute, and then what do I want to do? Get attribute, and I want to get the attribute of href. I don't know if this will work because I think I have to query the TDs or something like that. I think I have to do this. TD, there we go. I think that'll do it. If not, we can go back and change it. And then link. All right, let's console log the output of that. Console log link. I hate that. Hey, there we go. So this within a this, right? Or something within something, and then going from there, right? But that's how we would get the the link list. So I might do something like I'm going through each one of them, right? And I might do something like, okay, might do let data equal, and then just an empty string, right? And then I might combine all of those. I might combine all of those in some way, right? Like for instance, maybe I do a dot split to get the, maybe I just want the folio number. So I do a dot split on something like the equal sign. And then I'm going to add that to, at every level, I'm just going to add that to data. Data equals data plus, and I'll use the old school way of doing it, or concatenating the string. I can use a template literal, or string interpolation, or template literal if I wanted to, which is using the tick marks. So in this case, I'm going to reference, because when you do a split, in this case, I have, I can do splits on any one of these characters. And in this case, I'm going to do it on the equal sign. So this side of the equal sign will be 0. When you do a split, it'll make a new array. This side will be 0, and this side will be 1. So if I want to reference just a folio number, I'll do that. And then I do console.log data. So I might do data, and then what I might also do, as I said, actually, this should be better if I just do template literals here. Data equals. Oh, I don't have to do it like that. Okay, there's a different way of doing that. So I can do plus equals. So that'll be like the data itself, whatever it previously was, plus the new value you want to add to it. So if I will do that, I can just do it like plus equals, and that'll be cleaner. This is good because it's give me stuff that I haven't used in a while. I have to program in Groovy, which is Apache Groovy, which is annoying. It's Java-like. All right, boom. So now we got all of this, and then we can do things to filter out all the stuff that is, not what we want. Like folio numbers that we don't want or anything like that. So now with that, so we got the folio number. let's do something like pretty. One thing we would have to look at also is what is list defined as, or how do we make list? Table row via line top. So I might take that out, right? And I don't want the things that are via line topped or top. So let's look at that. Again, just going through this and picking out the way you want the data, or what, sorry, not the way you want the data, but the data you want out of it. See, I only got the ones that were via line top. So now I need all the middle ones as well. So that's not going to work, right? Like we need all of those. So I need TD font. Oh, don't want to take out Carol. Get Carol's information out there. All right, so via line top. Ooh. Query selector. Via line top. I am going to do all the things that are TD. Right, boom. Redo that variable, and then I can go through it, and I can just go through from there. I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but like I would just keep on, you know, every time I loop through, I make a new list here for different query selectors, and then concatenate that string, and then I can have that all in one for each loop. Hey guys, that's it. I appreciate you so much. I'm probably going to take the stream down a little bit, so if you want it, download it. I'll probably keep it up until tomorrow or something like that, and then get rid of it. Have some people's personal information, and I don't want that out there for too long. And not too many people watch my streams anyway. So for those that like it, go ahead and download it and or ask about it later. This is stuff that's already out there. This is basically what we went through is JavaScript using the inspect option when you right click on a web page that allows you to right click on a web page, because sometimes you could block it. And then using the inspect, and then you inspect an element, and then when you inspect that element, now you can go and do things like open up the console here and start writing code that actually draws information from the DOM itself as it's rendered, right? So for instance, some cases a DOM isn't, the initial DOM that you get isn't all the information that you see here. It might be like a template page, and then it hydrates that page or a portion of that page or a component of that page. If you're using something like React or something like that, it'll hydrate that section and then go from there. All right, guys, with that being said, thank you so much. As always, I'm going to get something to eat and chill out for a bit. Peace. Love you all.